All right, guys, what's going on? Grab a pen and jot this down. Today, we're going to talk about the macroeconomic environment, what's happening in the U.S. and Great Britain, how these things are playing out, what's being reversed, what's going forward. First up, obviously, you can see the mortgage rates in the United States are increasing. They're at 7+%. Risk-free rate is at like that 3-4+%. It's volatile. It's moving fast. It's moving upwards. So the Fed and the U.S. government are trying their best at the current moment to fight inflation. I think this is a speed mistake. They're moving too fast on a situation that took them too long to decide. So right now, we don't have a really good story of what's going to happen or what the outcome is going to be. But I think in December, they're going to be forced to play a different hand going into 2023. The biggest problem will be that they will have broken parts of the economy. They will have increased our interest expense as a federal deficit would have increased further. There are a lot of points, they already know that increasing the interest rate is going to increase unemployment. So right now we're at about 3.5%, 4% maybe, depending on how you look at it. And it's going to increase. Let's just say, like, for every point that the interest rate increases, we're going to have another full point of 100 basis points increase in unemployment. So it's going to be very expensive, just in the macro economy of our domestic affairs. Then Great Britain this week also decided that, hey, we're going to restart quantitative easing. You can see that the British pound is breaking. So this is a serious problem for that country. If you start thinking about global capital markets and you start pinpointing currencies against crypto, US dollar, fiat, Chinese yuan, and then other currencies, Russian ruble, you start realizing that, hey, Britain doesn't have their act together, as does the rest of Europe with the euro and then other currencies, because the currency of the country and its federal interest rate is a good indicator of what's happening in their economy. And if they don't have good control over it, this suggests that their monetary policy is broken. It's one of the reasons why I reiterate that our current interest rate policy is probably not the best one we could apply at the current moment. But I don't think anybody has a good control or feel for what's happening with inflation right now. So Britain pound, just devaluing. So if you devalue it against another currency like US dollar, the US dollar just became way more powerful. It doesn't mean that it's as strong independently, but it's more powerful in reference to the British pound. And I think Britain is going to keep going on this spiral, and I think they're one of the first, probably in Europe, to do this. I don't know if the US will do it next, but it might be, the 6th or 7th country. But we're going to start seeing these breaks across monetary policies. Economics are just going to show that, one, you can't raise rates too high because you can't afford it with a large amount of debt. And then two, these countries simply don't have a good feel or grasp on what's happening in the micro. So what's happening in local economies, what's happening in their businesses, what's happening in like the employment, job status of companies. It's becoming more expensive to live. Yes. Is rising interest rates the way to solve this problem? I don't think so. So let's see what happens. We're going to see a lot more happen in Q4 of this year.